Ross Conlon, who has landed 2 from 3, makes it 3 out of 4, and it's 18-6 in favour of Sydney Seconds. Here's that try again, and just watch Brad Izzard move onto this ball. Receives that punt, and he was on the burst, drew the defence, and Alexander, intelligent as always, positioned himself beautifully. There's the kick-off by Ashton of Country, and so Sydney will attempt to bring it back again. That's the 22 on Sydney's end of the ground. Lions to play it. Langmack. Oh, and he's lost it. Picked up by Ward. A few metres short of the 22. Just inside the 22, Sydney's end. Now, what can Country do? Can they reply with a try? They've been close a couple of times. They look very, very dangerous on a number of occasions. They have won on the board, of course, and now they've lost the ball. Mears to play. And a penalty. Player held down in the tackle. Alexander kicks for the line and finds it just on Country side of halfway. Simmons with a free kick, which he didn't actually take from the mark either, Gary.
No, he was took it about 3 or 4 metres behind the mark because he saw big Phil Daly coming through on the burst and he wanted to give him the opportunity. But here's a penalty going against Sydney. Forward pass.
And Ashton looks for the touchline for Country. Finds it just short of the Sydney 22. So another opportunity for the Country boys to attack. And it's Keeble going in hard. That's inside the 22. McAnally. Trudgett moves into dummy half. Roberts coming up behind the ruck. He was the try scorer. He's only 10 metres out from the line. Trudgett cuts out. Ward with that long pass to Martini. Then it went from Graham. Lost out in the centres. Picked up by the winger Kelly. And the referee has awarded a penalty against him. He's ruling Shepherd.
Yes, he has, and it seemed fairly innocuous when it took place. There didn't appear to be any of the Sydney players hampered. Just watch him pick the ball up here and run. Ross Conlon was the only close player there, and he certainly wasn't hampered by that one.
I think it was more or less an accidental collision. That's the way it appeared to me. Anyway, it's Sydney back in possession, but in their own half. Batiste, 10 metres short of the halfway line.
We have a message from the Curry Club who are conducting doubles on the ground today. On the doubles, it shows Curry and opposition. Country will represent Country. Country will represent Curry. Sydney will be opposition.
Sydney moving it. Graham Wynn. That's the halfway line.
And they will be played at the turnstile at the rear of the grandstand after the game.
Simmons gets that long, awkward pass out. Picked up by Gonzalez, but he's lost it. So it's Country back in possession now. But that's only about 15 metres outside the Country 22. From dummy half, it's the centre Bentley. And a penalty against Sydney. Inside the 5 again. Ashton will kick for the touchline over on the eastern side of the ground. The score is 18 points to 6 in favour of Sydney Seconds. It's quite a change. At 8-6, not all that long ago, the Country still seemed to be well in this.
Yes, John, I thought they may have come back there. In fact, they were only a few metres from Sydney's line, and it looked like naturally they were enthused and they were full of confidence, and they'd put the pressure right on Sydney. But Sydney, I think, showed their experience. They were able to come back into the game with those fine tries. And there's one player out there that I think the selectors would be very happy with, is Brad Izzard. He's featured right through this game, and they're just finding it hard to contain him.
Scrum is close to the Sydney 22. It's a City ball. Lions away to look like Langmack, and then out to Izzard. Where O'Sullivan was who came into the line to give that pass to Izzard. That's about 10 metres short of the 22. Batiste to Alexander, then to Lyons. Conlon back to Lyons, who's put it down. That'll be a knock-on. And another scrum.
And it's become rather scrappy now. They've had a succession of scrums and penalties in the last 10 to 15 minutes of this half, and there have been 28 penalties in the match altogether, so it's a little difficult to get much continuity right at the present time.
And Paul Mears is coming off the ground.
Steve Hansen's gone back on.
Yes, Steve Hansen has gone back on for the Sydney side. Paul Mears has come off, and he's run very hard for Sydney.
He's had a good game.
And another penalty, this time awarded to Sydney. And Alexander will kick for the touchdown. Simmons taking the free kick for Sydney. Finding Hansen backing up there. Now it's Daly. O'Sullivan, who's getting right up into the action now. Well, we're approaching the end of this game. In fact, I believe there's only about a couple of minutes left. And it's Sydney moving the ball. Hetherington caught in possession. The Dutch judge raises his flag, and the scrum is to go down on the 22-metre line on Country's End, with Sydney leading by 18 points to 6. Ward to feed, but it's out the same tunnel. Sydney's ball. Alexander. Lyons. Oh, nearly a mix-up there, but it's O'Sullivan. From Alexander, then a long pass out to Gonzalez. Back inside to Lyons. Langmack's pass finds Wynn. Inside through Conlon. It's gone again to Langmack, and that looks like another try. Yes. Was it Langmack or O'Sullivan there? It was Langmack. Yes, Langmack it was who scored. And that makes it 21 points to 6. 22 to 6. Here it is again. Wynn getting that ball inside to Conlon. On then it went to Langmack, and Langmack reaches out, puts the ball down to score the try. The siren had sounded, actually, as this movement was in progress. But they kept it going. Conlon found Langmack, and he was able to stretch in that tackle to score to make it 22 points to 6. And the conversion attempt from Conlon is successful, and so it's 24 points to 6 in favour of Sydney seconds over Country seconds. Sydney 24, Country 6. And let's go through the scoring details. For Sydney, there were tries by Chris O'Sullivan, Ben Gonzalez, Greg Alexander and Paul Langmack, and Ross Conlon kicked 4 goals. For Country, 1 try scored by Paul Roberts, replacement for the second half, and a goal kicked by the fullback Greg Ashton. The scrums and penalties, Gary.
Yes, well, there are a fair few of those penalties, but the scrums finished in Sydney's favour 6-3. They won all scrums in the second half, including a tight head, and the penalties favoured Country 16-13.
And Reg Gasnier, any promise of further representative honours for the players on view in that first game.
Yes, John, I was looking at it, and I mentioned Brad Izzard. I thought he had a very strong game. He featured in the tries, and he set up his outside supports. I think Graham Wynn also, the selectors will be quite happy with his game. He was replaced at half-time, but brought on in the second half, and I certainly think he hasn't done his representative chances any harm whatsoever. And also Royce Simmons, the skipper, from the dummy half, set up his supports, changed the play on both sides. I think of the City seconds, there are other good performances by Ryan Batiste. Paul Mayer's another strong player. I thought he played quite well too. He was replaced towards the end, but I think the selectors would be very pleased with Royce Simmons, Paul Mayers, Graham Wynn and Brad Izzard. For the country, well, certainly no one tried harder than Duncan Ward at halfback, I thought.
And it's Sydney to kick off into the breeze. Michael O'Connor sends it off deep into the breeze, and it's out on the full. Out on the full. It went straight over Peter Wynn's head, into touch on the full.
Well, that's a bad mistake there by Michael O'Connor, misjudging that breeze and giving country a good opportunity. It should be quite a great contest here today. Steve Mortimer and Des Hasler, the halves, will probably be one of the great clashes we should look forward to. But I think the Sydney players that country really have to watch are Gary Jack in the full-back position, Steve Ella, who's in magnificent form, and Ben Elias around the rucks, who can create an enormous amount of damage.
Taken up Wynn. So 30 metres out from Sydney's line. Steve Roach, short ball from Randall. All steaming up. Hawthorn went open, Mortimer blind. Still 20 metres out. Schofield plays it. Mortimer, count starts again. There's Cleal. Cleal's always dangerous. Chance for country near the corner. Just 10 metres out. Wynn plays it. Mortimer fires it again. Schofield wrapped up. Roach. They went into touch, and the ball had hit the ground in the play of the ball, so he was able to do that without incurring a penalty. But country looking very promising early on, with Steve Roach and Mortimer very busy in there.
Well, you could hear that in the sound. Kevin Roberts telling the country props to bend their back. You can see him giving that signal. They didn't do so, and he immediately gave the penalty to Sydney.
Sydney tested in defence in the first few minutes, and a chance to work it back. Playing into a buffeting Southerly. Jarvis. Wayne Pearce with the ball. Roach is in there, his Balmain teammate, and bowled him over. Tunks. Ben Elias into his usual spot. David Brooks looking for touch, not finding it. Mortimer. Chris Mortimer from the centres up there to recover. Schofield. Peter Wynn. Roach. Low tackle coming in from Brooks. Wynn close to the ruck. Nice play, keeping it neat, but a knock on. Chance for the City side to bounce back. Jack. Jarvis. Elias. Good low tackle from Peter Hawthorn from Griffith.
Well, that was a silly penalty, and those sort of things will not assist the country cause one little bit. Just have a look at it. As Elias bounces to his feet, tries to get up, and gets sat right on his bottom.
Farah finds touch, and now the Sydney side into a promising position. No score after a couple of minutes. Going to work out the moves. Elias goes on his own. Done. Dropped by Jarvis. Hasler. Jack. Growth's there. Growth's inside. Growth's over for a try. Growth scored. Very powerful from a few metres. And the big man has gone over for the first points of the game. Now, referee Roberts is calling out one of the country players. Here's how the try occurred, as Jack got his arms over the tackle and set it up nicely inside for Growth, who was able to just make it. The ball gets past Jarvis. Now it's cleaned up by Hasler very quickly. Jack comes in, and Jack does very well here. See how he keeps his arms free in the tackle, and then in a drive to the line, Growth's just too strong for them. Breeze going from right to left. O'Connor's had a good year with the beat. And the Breeze has got that. It's short and wide. So first blood to the Sydney side. Promising stuff from Jack and Grove. Country will have to sharpen their defence if they're going to keep out this Sydney side. They've certainly got the potential to run riot if given any latitude. Chris Mortimer restarts it. Jack. Here's Ferguson. The evergreen flyer. Not much room in there. Schofield up with Peter Wynn. There goes Brooks. David Brooks, a bit of a surprise selection in this team. Tunks. Hawthorne's in there. Jack. Penny. Well, not a lot of him, but he showed a lot of strength in those tackles.
He comes with a very good reputation too, Jim. Such a good reputation that the country selectors were prepared to forego the opportunity of selecting the Australian Test fullback Gary Jack, who's out there in the Sydney team. Dale Penny certainly has a very good reputation. It'll be interesting to see how he performs here today. He's a strong running player.
The hooker for country, Glenn Randall from Waratah Mayfield, local Newcastle club, is having a shot at goal. He does have the wind behind him. And let's hope for the country's team's sake that he's got his boots on today. Country already in the game have missed 7 tackles. And that's an area that Alan Thompson and Captain Steve Mortimer would be very, very worried about. Randall moves in for the long kick. It's not bad either. No, just wide. Run back by Jack. Country bustling in defence. Elias switches it to Jarvis. Jarvis, a neat dummy. Dunn. Hawthorne underneath made the tackle. Hasler. Ella. And there's Farah. Up fast on him too. Tunks. Last one for Sydney. They're leading 4-0. It's Brooks.
aged about 4 with a red pullover and green.
Now, another chance for Penny to have a burst. Hasler's up fast, and he makes no mistake.
The little girl aged about 2 wearing red pants and a white top. And the boy aged about 4 with a red pullover and green jeans. Collect those children in the foyer of the lights.
Perrin plays it for country. Roach off Mortimer. They've got him pretty well marked at the moment. Jarvis. Elias goes for a quick rake. Wynn fires it out into the centres. Schofield. Eric Growth, an early try, giving Sydney the lead, and now we're going to have the scrum after a knock on and the tackle.
Second row feed from Des Hasler, but Kevin Roberts also taking the opportunity to tell one of the country players there that he didn't need any advice. He told him he'd seen the incident and didn't need any assistance at all.
Now Randall starts it off, gives it to Wynn. What can country contrive an attack here? That's Roach taking it up, looking for someone to go off him. Almost got a little one to Cleal. Randall, blindside Mortimer. Oh, what a reception. Done on Mortimer. Steve Mortimer. Chris Mortimer. Lovely low tackle from O'Connor. Bomb from Steve Mortimer. Jack's there. Takes it beautifully. He's so well poised under those high balls. Farah. Jarvis giving it to Wayne Pearce. Dunn. Dunn slipped a very, very awkward pass away. Just fell from his grasp as he tried to offload. Perhaps a little inexperience in there, trying to offload in that spot. They're all jammed up, but Sydney's settling down fairly well in attack. Jack. Tight head to the Sydney side. Growth. And he loses it in the tackle. Righto, country, what have you got for us? Schofield plays it to Mortimer. Cleal. Cleal, a lot of power. That was forward and lost. And it's picked up by Farah. He was looking for David French. Tunks. And let's just watch Sydney here. Going one out a little bit. And expect that in this spot, but let's see if they can get a bit further upfield and use the ball well. Jarvis is going to play it. Brooks into the breeze. Reefs it down towards Penny again, and a touch. Good pick up from Penny. Hasler up there again for the tackle. Mortimer, Chris Mortimer, Johnson, Brian Johnson seeing a bit more of the ball today in the centres. There goes Perrin, makes a great break, and he's away up to over halfway. That was a good tackle from Jack. Steve Mortimer. French sets it up. There goes Perrin. Back in. Chris Mortimer, 10 out. For the corner, Randall. Randall very close to the line. Glenn Randall plays it for country. Great show here. Schofield plays it back. and Mortimer almost through. Grabbed by the arm. Randall dummies to himself, swivels. There must have been a touch in there somewhere. A few tackles back. Roach. Sydney defence still under great pressure. Last one coming up. Mortimer chips it. Cleel's chasing it. Cleel goes up. Where is it? Oh, it's a try. Rafferty's rules a try. I think it might have been French who scored it. Let's watch what happens here. Now, Cleel goes up for the ball. It goes backwards. It's everywhere. Who wants it? Sydney fall on it, and then Peter Wynn comes through, and he scores the try. What a lottery job that was from Steve Mortimer's bomb, and it's resulted in the equaliser for Country.
Yes, it certainly was. It bounced off at least 3 or 4 pairs of hands there, and luckily for Country, for them it was going backwards all the time, and it certainly seemed as though Sydney could clean up at one stage and dive on it, but Peter Wynn, on the alert, came through just in time to touch down.
So Randall looking to give Country the lead in this game. And there it is. Country hit the lead. Don't the fans love it up here at Newcastle? Here's how it happened. Last tackle, short one from Mortimer. It was an absolute lottery. Jack wasn't there. It went loose, and then Peter Wynn came through to dive on the crumbs to score.
Peter Wynn. Glenn Randall converting the try. Country 6.
It started by O'Connor. Peter Wynn, the try scorer, comes back. Well, that'll give the players and the pro-Country crowd a lot of heart. Let's see if they can keep it moving. Schofield, keep up the enthusiasm. Roach slipped it somehow to Hawthorn. Steve Mortimer looks for the touchline. Over Ferguson's head, and he's got it into touch. Steve Mortimer, the captain of this Country side, came from Riverina in 1975, and there's an example of his versatility. Good kick into touch. Hasler defeated.
That's against the Country hooker Glenn Randall for going down the scrum, but the prop on the far side of the scrum there was facing towards the touchline. It was very badly formed scrum.
Farah safely finds the touchline, and now Sydney can set themselves up again. It's Elias working it. Wayne Pearce. Stopped by Cleel and Wynn. On halfway. Dunn. Good defence. Win again. Jarvis. Hasler away through Pearce. Hasler again. Jack looking to the blind side. Elias chips ahead. Ellis chasing it. It's well picked up by Glenn Perrin from Young. Pinney. The Temora fullback, 20 metres out from his line. Stevie Mortimer. Schofield. Used to play with Balmain.